unpopular opinion, but people have the right to be upset that they're losing their source of income.
Exactly. And go back and watch Zahara's full video. She speaks a lot more eloquently than I do. Because fuck anyone who has made fun of or criticized people for being upset that they're gonna lose a source of income. Too many of you motherfuckers would rather do the work of the fucking ruling class on here and cheer the loss of someone's income in the hopes that they have to replace that income by groveling to some shitty ass fucking job that's gonna underpay that. Cause those of you doing that hate your fucking jobs, understandably. But rather than trying to work to create a world where none of us have to be under the boot of some shitty fucking employer, you rather stay in that prison hell so long as you can keep us there with you. And if you're one of those people doing that, you are so embarrassing. In fact, I don't need to say much to you if you're one of those people, because you hate yourself so much that you can't even be happy for other people when they are able to pay their fucking bills. Do you not understand that Instagram sucks? Like, who doesn't understand that Instagram sucks? And Instagram Reels doesn't pay. Remember, they started to pay for like 2 seconds while they were still lobbying to get TikTok banned. And once they knew the ban was going to happen, then they stopped paying because they don't want competition. LOL that we live in some free market fucking society where there's competition. No, we don't. We live in a fucking oligarchy with monopolies, and all the big tech broligarchs were working around the clock along with the ADL and the Israeli regime to get this app removed. And obviously, because TikTok Shop was hurting Amazon's sales, our government and their handlers in the Israeli regime did not like that we could see the genocide. And Mark Zuckerberg, who my sister just pointed out looks like Peeker, could not handle the competition. Facebook, just like every other monopoly in this country, constantly buys up their competition. And because he couldn't buy it and because he couldn't compete, he worked to get it removed. Mark, it is not TikTok's fault that your app sucks. It's not their fault that you can't innovate. It's not TikTok's fault that you overly censor and your algorithm sucks. And it's certainly not TikTok's fault that your cheapskate motherfucking ass doesn't want to pay your creators. And if we really lived in a free market, this would just be the result. Sorry, you didn't want to pay your creators. The free market decided, we left. Facebook long should have gone the way of Blockbuster. But he knows that, even if he doesn't know how to dress, cut his hair, or talk like a human. Tens of millions of Americans are able to pay their bills and fundraise and do mutual aid on this app. Which, by the way, speaking of that, Zahara is trying to raise money to go back to school so that she can be a trauma-informed massage therapist, which a lot of people don't understand how amazing that is. For a very short time, I had a trauma-informed chiropractor, and it was incredible. But I had to stop seeing him because I really couldn't afford it. Anyway, the point is, please donate to Zahara's college fund if you can, because by doing so, you are investing in the healers of the future. So go to her page and please donate if you're able. Okay, where was I on Zuckerfuck? When did you ever hear anyone talk about Facebook like that? Like the stories that I have heard people say about how this app changed their life, and it changed mine in many ways as well. You never hear people say, oh man, Instagram really changed my life, Lamau. I have been on Instagram for over 10 years, and Instagram never paid, it never had the reach, never had the algorithm, and never had the connections you can make on TikTok. Let me say this again for all the people in the back. There is nothing wrong with making money from creating content. You should be paid for your work. And content creation is creative work. And TikTok was the only app that, aside from YouTube, that actually paid creators for their work from the app instead of creators having to ask their followers. Because I don't know about you guys, my fellow creators, but I much prefer to have that fucking app pay me for my work than to have to ask people that I know are also struggling working class people. And most of us on this app that have made money from it have not made ridiculous amounts of money. Like that's like a few handful of huge influencers. Most of us are making supplemental income. And once again, they are not afraid of the Chinese influence on this app because a memo was leaked just yesterday showing that the government, the Biden administration, put a carve-out in this TikTok ban to allow government contractors and certain people in the State Department and certain people in the military industrial intelligence complex to have accounts on there because they understand, in their own words, the influence and importance of this app. They just don't want you to have it. This ban is not about protecting Americans from shit. This ban is about protecting the government, the Israeli regime, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos' profits from us.